Hello, as every day we are on MIMO app to learn how to code. So I am 20% done almost. So let's do the displaying elements of CSS. Elements like P, div or age3 and line3 work differently in normal flow than inline elements. They always appear on separate lines. The display value for elements taking the entire width of their parent element is block. Since they take up the full width of the parents, block elements always start on a new line. Which of these elements are block elements? P, div, h1, h2, h3. What do block elements do? They take up the entire width of the parent element. What happens when we have a P element with very little text inside of it and an empty style.css file? Add the block element. Set the display value to block. Display block. Code the snippets so that there are two inline elements on the same line. P paragraph alpha size. Calculating sparks. So, displaying elements. You may have noticed that buttons and images are displayed differently than inline or block elements. Elements like button and EMG have inline block as their default display value. Inline block puts elements on the same line while also letting us change their size. We can set an element's display property to a different value when we want to change how they look and behave on a web page. So display 100 pixels 8. Oh no. In display inline block 8 100 pixels. Which elements have inline block as their default display value? Inline block. What happens when we change the size of an inline block element? The size changes. It's one of the features of all of inline block elements. What happens when we change the display value of an element from block to inline block? The element becomes an inline block element. Code the display value as inline block. Change the display value of the infant size element to inline block so that we can change its size. Change the display value of the infant size element to block. Change the display value for div elements to inline block to put them all on the same line. Inline block. Inline block hyphen change display value for div elements to inline block to put them all the same line. So inline block. Lesson complete. Let's continue. Let's learn how to wrap text around images like on the web page below. To wrap text around an image, we first place an element with text below an image. So, paragraph. We first place an element with text below an image. So, let's write something. Then on the image we set the float property to left or right. Float on the right. What if we add a second element with text below the first but don't want it to wrap around the image? P class second. In that case, we set the element's clear property to the same value as the image element. Image, so clear right. Which elements needs to be first if we want to wrap text around an image? So the text of the image. Which values belong to the float property left and right? Where does the clear property go? We add it to a text element that shouldn't wrap around an image. Code the float property. Float right. Make the image display on the left side of the text. Float left. Make the second paragraph not wrap around the image by adding the correct clear value. Left, right. So left. So we are done. Let's see. I am on 20% of web dev, then maybe later I'll do Python. So I will share with you my link. Please download the app and use my link. So I will use my invitation link. Share, give a like, share the playlist, subscribe, keep learning, and I wish you all the success.